welcome to the Kauai County Council Roundup. This is Council Chair Mel Rapozo, and we'll be covering yesterday's council meeting. It was October 15th. And we started off with words of wisdom, as we do on the first council meeting of every month, with Bishop Ike Cockett of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. He had a very good message for all of us, setting us up for the day, the long day ahead. We did have a bunch of items. I'm only going to highlight the more important or more important ones. I encourage all of you, if you're interested, watching the meeting, you can always watch our council meetings on Ho'ike's YouTube channel. Just go to Ho'ike, look up, go to YouTube, look up Ho'ike, subscribe to their channel, and you can watch. All of our meetings are live on YouTube at the Ho'ike channel, or you can watch it on our county website, www.kauai.gov. Click the webcast meetings button, and you get to watch it there. It was a great informative meeting, so I encourage all of you to go check it out. Started off with an interview for a commission appointment nominee, Chloe Waipa. She's a 17-year-old senior at Kauai High School, and she is being nominated to sit as an ex officio member on the Board of Ethics. And incredible young lady, and conducted her interview quite well, and we anticipate approving her nomination at the next council meeting. We had a few approvals for funding, one being from the legislature, $11.5 million, and that was from last year's session, and that is for improvements at the Vidina Stadium as well as the Hanapepe Stadium. As you know, the Vidina Stadium is being outfitted with a brand new track and a field turf football field, and that should be up and running before the next football season. So that was one of the items. We also had a request to approve $583,298, and this was for the Police Operations Bureau. It's a recurring highway traffic safety grant, and that is what the police department uses for enforcement training and all of those things as it relates to traffic safety. If it's a federal grant, and we appreciate all of those additional funding that comes in from the feds or from the state that does not have to come out of our general fund. We also had a bill for our SHOPO negotiated contract. It's a 4-year contract. That was our first reading bill, so it came up for the first time. It'll be at a public hearing, and it looks like that will pass as well. Again, it's a contract that is negotiated every 4 years, and that did pass yesterday on first reading. There was a smaller one, $12,000 from the state of Hawaii, the Alcohol and Drug Abuse Division, and that is for our police department to go out and enforce the underage drinking and tobacco laws, and that is, again, well welcomed. We appreciate all of those fundings that come through from the state. We had another somewhat large grant of over $500,000, and this came from the State Executive Office on Aging, and that will go to our Elderly Affairs Agency, and that will be used to continue and supplement our Kupuna Care program. And as you know, many of our Kupuna benefit from this program. They have personal care, home delivered meals, home visits, respite care. All of those things come out of the Office of Elderly Affairs, and it's $501,000 that will go for that use. There was a request from Public Works, from our county engineer, requesting some funding for unbudgeted equipment, and this was in the amount of $290,000. This was for a dry well maintenance lift unit, which is broken at the Wailua pump station right there by Coco Palms. That pump, we're told, is over 40 years old and it's obsolete. They don't even make the parts, so we got to get a new unit. This was unexpected, so the council had to approve those funds, in which it did, so they can get that taken care of as soon as possible. There was also another item on the agenda which I requested it, and this took most of the day, and it was a discussion regarding the Poipu Road Safety and Mobility Project. This project was planned about 13 years ago, and we're finally getting around to start the construction. There were many meetings back at the time, 12 and 13 years ago, but the community found out, the residents of Koloa found out, that all of those gold trumpet trees that are on Poipu Road by Kukui'ula Market that whole stretch was going to be removed, and they did not appreciate that. That was never discussed in the community meetings back 12 years ago. And they did not, so the trees are going to be removed for a sidewalk. And while we support the sidewalk, we also believe that the trees are a very important part of Koloa's character, the rural character and the culture and heritage of that area. So they reached out to me, we did a site visit, and the community was not satisfied, so we put it on the agenda, we had a discussion, it went on for a few hours. And again, I would encourage you to watch it. It was very informative, and a lot of kupuna came to testify. And they really want to preserve what we have. And I think we all got to be careful that we make sure we don't lose the Kauai that we all know and love. So it was quite emotional at times. But I'm happy to say that after the site visit, between the site visit, which happened about 3 weeks ago, and yesterday's council meeting, the administration, the engineering department did revise the plan. So their plan is to preserve as many of those trees as possible, maybe having only to lose they're saying 4 to 10 trees, which is still a lot. And they're going to continue to work on how they can preserve all of those trees. I was very concerned because I don't want to see those trees taken out. Those trees serve much more purpose than just visually. It is, it's rooted in the ground that abuts the stream right there, Waikomo stream. And I'm concerned that if you remove all those trees, you might affect the erosion of that bank. So we'll see how that goes, but I know the community is somewhat satisfied, but still wishes that all of the trees will be preserved. We got to be very careful because we want to retain, especially in those old plantation towns like Koloa, we really want to maintain that character. So our generations to come will appreciate and know what it was all about. So that took most of the council meeting, and we will see how that pans out. There was also another money bill which I put on the agenda, and this is for funding that was not budgeted for the repair of the Wailoa Golf Course cart paths. That has been on the books for a while as a capital improvement project, and the most recent procurement, when it went out to bid, the bids came back too high. We're about $445,000 short, and rather than wait another fiscal year in which costs will go higher, I decided that we would just take the money out of our fund balance, move it over to the Parks Department, to the golf course, and they can move forward with that project. So that was heard yesterday. That did pass first reading, and that will go to a public hearing, and hopefully we'll pass that out. Again, Shopo, we had another bill, the Shopo bill did pass, as I said earlier. We had another bill that was proposed that will ban the use and the sale of, those disposable styrofoam boogie boards, those that just break in half, and most of the times people leave it, they'll buy it at the store. It's very cheap. It's not intended, it's intended to be disposable. We all know that that's not a good material to put in our landfills or have floating around in the ocean. So that bill was introduced yesterday as well, and that will have a public hearing as well. So we shall see how that goes. That's pretty much all we had. We did have two public hearings on bills that I introduced. Number one was electric bicycles. That'll be in committee next week on Wednesday. If you want to provide any testimony, make sure you send it over to counciltestimony@kauai.gov. We are basically regulating, trying to put in the bill that will become law, that will regulate the use of e-bikes, prohibiting youngsters from riding. The younger or the older youngsters, 16 and above, will need a helmet. I mean, just simple things like that. We want to keep our kids safe. So that bill will be at committee next week. We didn't have any we did have one written testimony, but we didn't have anybody show up to testify. And then the other bill is a taxi cab rate bill. The taxi cabs here on Kauai, they have two rate structures. Number one is the mileage and time, which is a typical taxi fare. But they also have a second rate, which allows them to do tours where people can actually rent the cab for a period of time. And we're just adjusting the minimum rate to make up for the cost of living. They have not had an increase in many, many, many years. So that one will be at the committee meeting as well next week. And that was it. Again, it was a very informative meeting. I encourage all of you to go ahead and watch it on YouTube at the Hawiki channel. Just go to YouTube, search for Hawiki, subscribe to Hawiki's channel because you'll get notified whenever a new video is uploaded. And we do want to thank Hawiki for allowing us to come in every week to recap the meeting and give you guys a little snapshot of what occurred. And then you can go back and watch the meeting. This one was good. You'll enjoy it. And you can also watch the meetings at our county website, www.kauai.gov, and hit the webcast meetings button, and it'll take you right to the archives. So again, thanks, Roger. Thanks, Hawiki, for allowing us to do this. Until next week. Hui ho.